the zone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tech Talk Tonight, episode number 48. It's been a hell of a day here.
What are you wearing?
So, there was a blackout of the internet, and pandemonium, dogs and cats living together.
Is that blood on your shirt? I see.
It's been a rough day for all of us, I believe.
What exactly happened that made it a rough day for you, Braden?
Well, first of all, Gavin, Reddit has been down. It came back up, but it was down, and I didn't know what to do during work. And then these things all happened. And then Wikipedia, I wanted to prove a point by saying I knew something, but then I wasn't able to actually know something because Wikipedia wasn't there.
Were you one of those students who was trying to write a paper today but couldn't use Wikipedia?
Actually, no, my first class doesn't start till tomorrow night for this semester, so I didn't have to write any papers. But I was thinking, what if I did have to write some papers and then I couldn't go on Wikipedia? And, other things on the internet weren't there today, and I just didn't know what to do.
So joking aside, so today was the anti-SOPA, anti-PIPA movement day across the internet, yes?
I guess. I mean, I don't really know, because I tried to go outside, and there was this giant burning thing up in the air, but it was still cold out, and I didn't know what to do, so I went back inside, but then I couldn't go on the other websites. It was rough, man. Give me a break. Oh.
Are you done?
I'm done. What's new with you?
Are you just gonna... What's new with you? This is greatest intro ever.
This is Gavin Rehkemper, everybody. He's up in the wild north where the internets are still working, I believe.
Well, I mean, I don't slack off all day, unlike some of us here, but I did notice that Reddit and Wikipedia were down today. I did message my congressman in the anti-SOPA movement. Did you call your congressman, Braden?
I emailed them because the emails were still working, so I just started emailing random people to see if they would talk to me.
But the problem is that email does not work with your congressman.
No, probably not.
It just goes into some black box. They have an Outlook filter.
Yeah, but that number keeps ticking up of all those SOPA anti-things that are coming in. So, they have to at least be scared somewhat.
What's that you're drinking?
This... I found it on the side of the road. I was thinking that there was going to be a liquid shortage, so I just picked up this random bottle of yellow liquid, and I've been drinking it.
Oh, it's Ski. Is that a Clinton County high schooler?
No, it's not.
So other than the SOPA news, because I think we're all tired of it, what else happened today, Braden? Have you been paying attention to tech news?
How could I?
Well, have you heard about the iPad 3 rumors?
No. What is an iPad?
You're going to make the show really hard if I can't actually talk about tech.
Well, it's just been a rough day. That's all I could say. But yes, I've heard of this iPad. I might even own an iPad too. What's new about this other one?
So SWD in the Reddit on reddit.com/r/Tech Talk Tonight posted this iPad rumors article that is saying that most likely rumors are saying that an iPad 3 will come out in March.
Okay, I think that's what Dryden was saying this last episode in the chat room.
And some people are saying there might be a quad-core CPU, there might be LTE, but probably not.
What if the skies start falling? Is there any protection if the skies start falling?
I believe you can hold the iPad above your head, and it's made out of aluminum or aluminum, as their designer says.
There's something moving around down here.
What?
There's something moving around down here.
What are
this
you
place is
about?
not safe anymore.
Who's saying who's going crazy? I think Braden's going crazy. What do you say, chat room?
Everybody knows that you're the crazy one that just
I
escaped
am
from a
not crazy.
tyrant home.
I'm just from an old person's home.
It's starting to get brighter down here. That's what I keep moving around to do. So yeah, tech news supposedly is what we sit here and talk about, and you've already brought up one story. What else is new, Gavin?
Well, I mean, to talk about the more of the Apple section, just get that out of the way. It sounds like the next iPhone might be waterproof.
That would be interesting because I once dropped an iPack, which was made by Compaq, which was a PDA, into a toilet once. That was fun times. It didn't work much after that.
This article on the Daily Mail reporting says that up to 1 million phones are water damaged every year worldwide.
And what would it take to basically make an iPad or an iPhone waterproof? What do you think? I mean, basically,
they're talking about a nanotech spray coating that's applied to the circuitry, so it essentially, the fact that water would get in the like ear hole and the mouth hole and stuff would be fine because the circuitry would be protected. It's essentially Scotch guard.
Yeah, I know.
Scotch guard for the internal workings of your phone.
So it's not necessarily like the thing's watertight sealed, because you couldn't do that because you need a microphone, you need speakers to, be able to actually make it a phone. So they're going to more or less do this at the circuit board level. There's not much room, I would think, even for a spray inside of that tiny little phone. There's not much room to put stuff in there.
Would Apple even want to do that? Like, they don't care that you're losing your phone in water. That means that you get more purchases.
Yeah, but I've heard, as far as like the Apple geniuses and stuff go, they've got kind of a leeway amongst like phone users and stuff. Basically, if you drop your iPhone in water, your current phone anyway, and you go into the store and you're like, I don't know what happened. Well, there's that little strip inside of your phone.
And then it's water, and then they know it.
Yeah, but if you just come in there and be like, I know what happened, I dropped my phone in water, they might be a little bit more lenient with you, and you might actually get a free repair out of them. It's happened before, so I've heard. I've yet to drop this in water. But, here's hoping I don't have to. Do you think if they actually make the iPhone more... okay, they're looking to stop the water damage. There's a lot of cases out there that kind of promote that as being a big feature of theirs. An Otter case comes to mind at first. Do you think this is kind of start to cut into the accessory market, since that seems to be a huge thing with iPhones?
I don't. Do Otter cases really advertise anti-water? I've never seen one like that. Maybe there are, but
I know there's at least some that they've dropped them in aquariums and stuff. It was going on at CES, so some type of a case is doing that. Maybe it's not Otter. No.
Anyway,
maybe.
The final Apple story of the night was one that ran a few days ago. That it's really link bait because the headline is more exciting than the actual content of the article. The headline reads: "Woz praises Android, blasts iPhone's limitations."
Yes, the great other Steve, the Steve that's still with us, the Woz.
So, most tech blogs had the headline, "Woz prefers Android." But if you read the article, what Woz actually said was essentially, he essentially said, I love the way I can hack around with the Android, but iPhone is still my primary phone because it's nice and amazing and wonderful, and I wish that I could hack a little bit more on my iPhone.
And plus
that's all he said.
He's at a point in his life and money-wise that he's able to own several phones of each, probably, and mess around with them all day, just because that's the type of tinkerer he is. I just called Wozniak a tinkerer. That should be a sound clip right there. Anyway, but he's got a point. An Android phone. Okay, so today was asked what type of smartphone should I get from a person that's never owned a smartphone. Okay, they want to go with a Verizon carrier. You got the choice of the iPhone or some of the Droid lines. So I was kind of thinking, for a Droid, really, I see the Droid as having two markets. First, you've got your more or less your lower income, not income, but lower funds for a phone type people that don't want to pay as much for an iPhone. But then you've also got the people that want to hack around with the phone and do all kinds of weird stuff with it. I mean, it's kind of like the two broad spectrums for the Droid market. But then the person that was asking me about the smartphone, I kind of saw her as being more of a general in-crowd sort of deal. So I told her iPhone. Yes, maybe, no.
I mean, my perspective at this point in time, now that I'm kind of an iPhone fanboy, is that is she going to get a data plan?
Yes.
So
I
the data
think
plan
you have
is
to.
approximately, if you add the data and the phone and like a basic text message thing, at the like standard pricing without any like discounts, is about $150 per month.
Ouch.
Yeah. So if you and you usually go in for a 2-year contract because that's what you need to do to get the cheap phone price.
Right.
So if you multiply that out, I'm no math major,
But we might have a few in the chat room.
but that's over like $2,000, right? I don't even know. That's over like $2,000 over the course of 2 years.
But I also see it as being kind of like a computer purchase because it more or less becomes one of your computers. It's
Okay,
able to
just hear
do
me
a
out
lot
here.
of those
so
things. Okay.
This is a long argument, but like, so $2,000, let's say, for argument's sake, is the cost of the service over 2 years. The cost of the phone is going to be, what's an iPhone for at this point? $200 versus your Android phone, which is probably like $100. Like, is that really that big of a difference in the big scheme of things? If you're investing into a smartphone, I think the initial cost of the device is very small compared to the overall cost of data, which you'll be paying anyway, either way.
You bring up a good point.
So my argument then ends with get the phone that you think you would like the best, which in my case is the iPhone, because I think it works the best and it has amazing battery life and it just works perfectly.
So along those lines, you've at least held out this long without wanting to upgrade to an iPhone 4S. But what if that iPhone 5 that's waterproof and can shave your face and do all kinds of new things comes out and, has a Retina display that's twice as good and shoots 3D? Are you going to want to invest in a new iPhone then right away?
No, absolutely not. I'm not one of the people who tries to stay on the bleeding edge of technology. I think the iPhone 4 is at the sweet spot of it's fast enough, it can run most things at this point.
Yes.
Maybe in a year or two there will be higher requirements for apps that the iPhone 4 won't be able to handle as well, but at this point the iPhone 4 is definitely acceptable, I guess.
I concur. And our laundry is done.
I thought that was the woot off thing for everyone who's watching the woot off on the channel.
Well, hang on.
Like...
We haven't talked about Woot in a while. Granted, our chat room all knows about it now, but just in case you just happen to stumble upon our podcast on iTunes, perhaps. What is Woot, Gavin? What is a Woot off?
So Woot is it's the classic, it's the original daily tech deal website where there's one tech deal a day. Woot.com, W00T.com.
WOOT. Don't type zeros.
No, that works. What are you talking about?
Does it?
Yeah.
All right.
And a Woot off is a special mode of the site where instead of doing a deal a day, they do deals one after the other as soon as they sell out of that particular item.
Gotcha. Do we want to give them our little secret for getting bags of crap?
Yeah, so those of you who were fans back about a year ago, both Braden and I got bags of crap, which are like special items that you get. It's essentially a grab bag of tech crap, or of any crap, really.
And it's a new item.
And a new item just came out in the Woot Off, and it's a Hex Bit accessory kit.
Made by SOG, which is a good, reputable company.
SOG?
SOG. They make a lot of knives and stuff, too. But it's durable, at least. $7. You can buy 3 of those right now and get this going, because we're waiting for that bag of crap.
So anyway, back to technology. We have a few more stories.
Lay them on me. What's
hit the
going
news this week. One that I think was posted in our Reddit by someone is the leap second. Did you post this, Braden?
Refresh my memory what it is.
No, SWD posted it. Basically, every year there's a leap second.
Oh, yes,
and
yeah.
It's getting more and more annoying because GPS and atomic clocks sync up with the official time system.
Right.
And they're talking about lots of people want to end the leap second because it's annoying to all these systems.
True.
But then this would cause a problem, obviously, where in 1,000 years it would be pitch black in the northern hemisphere or wherever you will live at midnight or whatever.
But in 1,000 years, don't you think we'll be able to transcend time and it's really not going to matter anymore? Better off. Why can't we just program our devices to be able to use that leap second and be done with it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they've been doing for the past 10, 20, 30 years, but it's just getting more annoying because all of our devices are now so accurate. Back in the day, every single device you had, your VCR, your cell phone, your whatever, you had to program the time yourself, and it didn't connect to anything. But now, is there anything in your life that you have to program the time still?
Well, I mean, I still have VCRs and stuff laying around.
You have a VCR?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Dude, VCR, Laserdisc. God, Laserdisc. And if Andrew would have let me go to this, the KDHX studios are moving in St. Louis, and they had kind of a fire sale, and they had a beta tape player. I wanted to go buy it just to have all the media available here in the studio. But yeah, DVD, VCR, Laserdisc, it's all down here.
That's disturbing.
I have a way to plug the camera in so I can play an 8mm tape. That's about it. But why not?
I don't think that's all the media, technically.
Well, what do you got? Reel-to-reel? I'm just thinking major media video formats. How about that?
Is Betamax the thing that was the VCR, the VHS competitor?
Yes.
Yes.
That's one thing I don't have down here is Blu-ray and HD DVD players. Having HD DVD players. Anybody remember those? Man. Now I kind of feel old. Anyway, what else is happening in tech, Gavin? I think we're almost out of here because Reddit's back up and I've got some searching to do.
Yeah, I really need to get onto my Reddits. The last item is not as tech savvy, but it's just kind of hilarious. One of your pet peeves, Braden, a story out of England that says moviegoers ask for refunds after finding out The Artist is a silent film.
Which The Artist won a few Golden Globes, just a shout out for it. But yes, it's a silent movie. It's a remake. It's not a remake, but it was made in the style of older movies and stuff, and that kind of pissed some people off when they went in and was like, hey, this movie doesn't have sound. So my whole reason of bringing this up on a technology podcast is there a certain level of expectation as far as technology is concerned when I'm buying a ticket price and stuff? Could this be comparable to me going to a concert and since I'm in the back, I wasn't able to hear the songs and stuff? So I should be able to get my money back for that? Or just for the mere fact that if I go to a movie theater and the projector is slightly out of focus? What do you think?
I mean, I think that comes down to the private businesses' decisions on how happy they want their customers to be.
True, but have we do we just expect a certain level of expertise among tech people nowadays? So
yeah, I think you do. I think when you go
quality.
into a modern movie theater, you're expecting it to be a certain quality, and if it's not, you would be angry. Having it as a silent film, though, I feel like that's something that...
It's a stylistic choice, to be real, but
I mean, it's not what you were expecting, but what were you expecting?
It was still a movie.
Still a movie.
But to kind of bring this all back around again, what is there a certain level of quality that we expect out of the internet? Like, we kind of expect it to be the way it is right now, or get better, as opposed to these SOPA and PIPA bills that will eventually cripple them and make them, the internet, less quality. That was the way I was going about this in a roundabout way.
That's an interesting anti-argument for SOPA.
It is.
I'm not sure if it's the same, and particularly because the government kind of is trying to regulate this, where like the films are all private entities, and if they want to give back the money, they do. If they don't, they don't.
Not necessarily private entities, though. I mean, there's major studio corporations. Granted, it's these studio corporations that are trying to get these laws passed as well. Anyway.
Oh, we did have one last tech issue that we have a call-in. We have a call-in guest who has a question for us.
I'm all ears.
What was that, Braden?
I'm all ears. Should I try calling him?
Yes.
Says he's away.
Yang also points out that in this case, the silent film wasn't a quality issue, but it was an issue with the actual content.
Boy, I do believe we have Doug on the line, who may or may not be able to hear us.
Hello, Doug.
Hello.
How's Doug this evening? I hear you have a tech question for us.
Yeah. So here's my question.
All right, shoot.
I am looking into buying Adobe CS 5.5.
Yes.
And I'm upgrading to CS2.
CS2, that was a few years ago.
Right. So my question is, should I get the design premium package or the web premium package?
Ooh, good question.
So what do you get with both versions, Doug? What's the difference?
Well, both versions come with Photoshop, Illustrator, and Acrobat.
Yes.
The only difference really is that with the design premium you get InDesign, and with the web premium you get Flash.
What do you plan on? What do you want to be doing with this exactly?
Well, typically I just use Photoshop and Illustrator to do graphic design. But as I move more into the web design world, I'm wondering if it would be beneficial to use Flash.
Flash is dead. This coming from a guy that just got out of a Flash class.
That's a good point that Braden makes. I didn't really think about it. Like, Flash is dying for HTML5.
It's true. But you could still use Flash to edit those sorts of things. I mean, there still could come a time when you need to create a Swift file. Whether it's for like I don't know, it doesn't necessarily need to be for a web page. It could be for some sort of control device or other uses that Flash has been used for.
I can say that I made this purchase 6 months ago or a year ago, I guess, before I graduated from U of I, and I chose the design because I didn't think I needed Flash. And I'm happy with that choice. I've never needed Flash, and I have opened files that were delivered to me by my sister that were in InDesign, so that was nice to be able to open those.
So, Doug, let me throw this out there. Why not just go whole hog and go Master Collection?
Because I don't have that kind of budget.
But you're gainfully employed.
I'm not willing to spend that much money.
Fair enough. Well, I would actually say, what have you done in InDesign, Gavin, and or Doug?
I used InDesign when I was in college to do certain things for activities in college, like magazine layouts or things like that, but I don't necessarily see myself needing that anymore.
I mean, my sister actually uses InDesign for a lot of things, like laying out, miscellaneous design stuff that architects do.
Brochures. That's what I'm going to have to use InDesign for here soon.
Brochures, yeah. And I've just never used Flash. I don't think you need that anymore. And I've never even had the requirement to even edit something that I got. Have you ever actually had to use Flash, Braden?
Yeah, well, of course, for the class that I was in and everything, but just for, like, I've created a custom Flash player for Slim Productions a while ago, and, I don't know, just a few, like, simple things, like just kind of learning about players and stuff, the way that they were working with playlists and everything, so just kind of messing around with it more than I've actually implemented and used it for any type of real job. But, yeah, that was it.
What about the fireworks? What exactly is that?
Okay, so I went to Flash Camp, and there were like a few advocates of fireworks there, and fireworks seems to work with Flash, but I don't remember why, to be honest. I think it was kind of like, you know how you have Photoshop, and then you have what's the other one? The one that builds in vector. Illustrator. I think Flash, like Fireworks, is that to Flash. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I think you're right,
Braden, because Wikipedia says it's a bitmap and vector graphics editor.
I'm pretty sure that that's what it does.
Gavin, have you ever used that?
No.
I've never used it. I don't know if it's useful or not.
There is a new thing. Ooh, I'm going to have to think of what it's called. It was new, and they were developing it while we were still at Flash Camp, but it was basically taking Flash and Premiere, or no, more like After Effects, which is the video special effects program that Adobe makes, but it was more or less combining those two kind of things, using Flash and special effects, and you were able to edit entire web pages with it. I think it was called Edge. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to have to look that up, and I think I talked about
design,
this maybe.
I think design is where to be. I think InDesign is a piece of software that will continue to be used for the long term, but Flash is being phased out, frankly.
And if you ever do need it, you can always buy it separately, can you not?
Yeah, but what I'm getting here, I'm buying it from the UIUC store, and it's a lot cheaper if I buy it like this.
Right. And they don't have, because I know there's web design, or no, web version, design version, master collection. Isn't there a fourth or fifth one as well?
There's a production collection.
Oh, that's the one with Adobe Premiere in it, right? That's for video. Yeah. So my advice, master collection. There you go. No, I think for all that it's worth, I would say design, Doug. Gavin, what do you say?
I say design.
All right.
There you have it.
There you have it. And
Problem solved.
That is Tech Talk Tonight.
Doug, where can they find you while we have you still on the line?
You can find me on moderndrummline.com.
moderndrummline.com. That's an interesting place, seeing that you've been out of high school for some time. Gavin, where can they find you?
You can find me in front of wooters.us, tracking for when I can buy my bag of crap, and you can watch me do that on gavinr.com. Not really, but sort of.
And you can find me out in the woods, because that's where I'm moving as soon as the internet goes down. This has been Tech Talk Tonight, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the Funny Papers, or next Wednesday.